Hey, good morning everybody. It's February 28th and I'm going to get right into it because I started something before I ever got on the camera. My shed has not been closing proper and I put my level on it a few days ago and it's sagging a little bit on one side. So I thought I'd take a chance of picking it up with a tractor here on the side. Hopefully nothing breaks. And I had found a brick the other day on the property. So that's all I'm doing. Hoping that's going to give it a little bit more lift on this side. You know, like Diego did the best job because he got a good deal on those cinder blocks, those big blocks. I put just little bricks and wasn't the worst thing, but it wasn't the greatest thing. And it's rained, you know, a few times since we've got these up. So I think what's happening is things are settling and getting dirt washed away. So there you go. I just put it down there and it's settled fine. Let's go over here and look real quick. Let's go over here. When I first went in with the tines, I accidentally went too high actually and hit this and broke it off. Alright, so I put that brick there and now that's quite a bit of lift. So what I'll do is maybe at least jam a little more dirt or rock up under here to give it some more support under this brick so it'll be at least touching the wood. And then I'll see if the shed is opening and closing proper. Unfortunately, my truck is up the hill a little bit and I forgot to bring the key to the shed, so I gotta go back up there. But anyway, we'll find out here pretty soon. All right, found a little piece of wood. I don't know how well that's gonna hold, but it gave it a little more up there, and that's holding there. But I came over here with the keys, and that's exactly what it needed. This is opening now very easy again, the way it was before. Closes, doesn't catch on anything. I was getting it caught down here on the bottom and having to kick it and stuff, so that was the ticket. So now I know the tractor can just pick up corners. I took my level, I took this level and just put it on the sides and saw how it was a little bit off. So that was cool. I'm glad that that's now fixed for now. Alright guys, I don't know if you see the sky, how it looks. You would never know that it's, I think it's about 63 degrees. I'm wearing a jacket, but it was only when the wind is blowing it's a little bit cold. Not cold, but uncomfortable enough in a long sleeve. It is blowing. So we'll see how today goes. We bought more of those 5-gallon planter bags. We really like those, and we used all of them that we had. They come in a pack of 50 and they're all used. I brought some stuff for composting from home. Some tea, some Earl Grey stuff in there, I think, and some onion peels and maybe some pieces of cucumber, and I also think some ends of some squash, zucchini. So I'm gonna also be working on the worm thing right now. I got my worms in and much happier with this one. I didn't realize it, but I actually ordered from a different company called Worm Nerd, I guess. Still off of Amazon. But the last one was a different company that I ordered from. I haven't even opened this, but it came a lot wetter, which I was happy about. So I'm going to crack this thing open, make sure all the worms are alive, hopefully, because it's been actually a couple days. It did rain, and Val had a day off, and she's sickish. So we didn't come out here, and I was sickish. Last time I was out here, Well, not the last time. We were actually planting stuff. The day before that, I couldn't speak, and I went home and just gargled a diluted mixture of hydrogen peroxide ever so often, and that ended up taking care of it. I felt a little off for a while, but my throat got better, and I'm starting to recover a little bit, so feeling a little bit better. Gonna work on this worm thing, and then maybe I'm gonna go out there and keep working on where I was chainsawing last week. All right, let's get to work. All right, guys, remember this thing I was putting together. So the way I end up getting it, and hopefully it'll work. We'll see. Now it's all experiment, and it's for small time. But I did everything like this so that I can just attach it like this, and they don't slide inside of each other, and the worms can't get through it. So what I've done here is, you guys saw this little red thing here, little piece of material. I'm going to keep that on the bottom, and I'll put that first tray here on the bottom. Sorry about that. First tray there on the bottom, like this. And this is all a learning curve. I've watched a few people, and several people don't even have a thing for the catchment on the bottom, and it's probably not going to be necessary. It's slightly breezy. I mean, it's slightly misty today, a little bit wet, and I'm thinking to protect this from those ants and all that stuff, I think I'm going to leave it here in the shed for a little bit. Maybe if it starts getting hot here in the future, like real hot, I'll move it out, but I don't want it to be susceptible to outside elements, whether it's bugs or rain or whatever. All right, guys, my videos are for beginners. We don't know what we're doing, do we? So this is what I bought. Some cocoa core, I guess they call it. And it comes in a bag like this, and it comes like this. And so what I've seen some people saying to do is you stick a brick of that in the water and let it sit for a while. I don't think I'm going to do that. Well, I need to find something to mix it with and see if it'll break down kind of quickly. And it wants you to leave it out so it will kind of let go of the moisture. But that's where a lot of my moisture is going to be, and I'm going to mix it with some soil. So I think I'm just going to cut a few blocks off of that, cut a little bit off, and then have some for more for later. Again, I only have 100 worms, and it's a really small area, and I'm going to see. I mean, that's little. I may end up needing more, making more of these. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do for now. So this thing feels interesting. It's a little bit like, feels like cork, and it's not really wanting to cut nicely. I was trying to cut a couple corners off, or that was my plan, but it's pretty dense. And on top of that, I'm cutting this and pieces are falling here on the, I don't really want to waste any of it. Alright, I just used my man's strength there. You're going to do this. That should work pretty good. And again, remember, I also have I have soil and I have peat moss that's going to be mixed together. And I remember it saying that you need kind of, like, it's good to make the bedding out of some cut up cardboard and paper, maybe newspaper or something. So I have some cardboard stuff and different things like that I'm going to tear up here in a minute, and paper and things like that. I'll put all kinds of stuff in there. And then what I think I'm going to do, I'm doing all this, I haven't even looked at my worms yet. They're in this bag. I have that sprayer right there, and I'm going to, that water's been sitting in there for a while, so I know it doesn't have, and it's been in the sun, so I know it's been sitting in the sun, so it's not going to have it's not going to be chlorinated too bad or whatever, you know, it's not going to be too harmful, I hope. But I want to spray this with some water, and then I'll keep adding other things. Just gonna let that down. And there's that cloth on the bottom, so that'll retain some moisture as well. No, everything I read and watched was there's a combination that you kind of fill out. The worms like it wet, but they don't like it sopping wet. So kind of deal with it and hopefully find the right combination needed. Alright, so now I have some paper here that actually came with, I think it came in the worm thing, so as part of the packing. I'm going to put some of that in here. Okay, I put a little paper in there. I'm going to wet that a little bit lightly. Again, guys, I'm a beginner and I don't really know. I'm just doing it as it feels right. Okay, that bag of worms came in this box here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear off a couple of these spots that don't have ink on them or anything and break those up and throw them in there too. Alright guys, I'm almost done putting all this cardboard in here. Just reading the directions, it says put leaves and cardboard and shredded paper in your bin. Keep out of direct sunlight. Ideal temperatures is 55 to 79 degrees. And keep them in the dark. And allow the worms to acclimate for at least 24 hours. So don't feed them basically. And keeping your pH at 6 to 7. So that's nice that I bought that. Okay, these things here that do the pH and the moisture content. Alright, I have not opened this yet, so I'm hoping everything is good. They were moist. Oh yeah, they're still alive. It's all good. I've had them in my house for a couple days and haven't been out here. There they are. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to give them a little bit more sprinkles. That soil was starting to become dry, so I hope this actually works out for them. It was not completely dry, but I could tell they didn't have too much, maybe a day or two left before that all dried out. What I got here is, I don't want to add too much for these guys. I don't want to overwhelm them. I learned that last time that it takes them a bit to acclimate, and you just can't do too much of anything right in the beginning. It's exciting, you're anxious to get it going, but so I have some peat moss, and that was mixed with a little bit of topsoil, a little bit of the native soil here, and a little bit of manure. So I'm not gonna put a ton of it, but this is like air, so I think that's gonna be some good stuff for them. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that over the top of them. Again, I had read that you're not supposed to make sure there's no pesticides and stuff like that in there, or any ingredients that could hurt them. So I did read that, and it was organic peat moss and that's all it was. So hopefully it should be good. Again, that's 100 worms. I'm not, oh, they're coming up out of the top already. Not quite sure if this is a good amount of space for them or not. I think after I start building this up, I think it should work. All right, so back in here into the shed. The worms are being quite active, which is probably a good thing. They're definitely not looking lethargic or anything. They're crawling all over the place. So I'm gonna hope, you know what? I'm almost considering putting the solid lid on top for now, because they're really active. They're going all over the place, and I don't want them to get out. But there is holes over here already that I made for ventilation, and they've already crawled over that. A couple of spots they could get out. Yeah, I actually think I am going to just put a solid lid on that for now, because I'm going to be out here tomorrow. And then I'll switch it over to this. Put this in here. And like I said, I have stuff for composting, but I think like the thing said, it says wait a day or so before you start introducing food. So what I'm going to do is, and that's not, I didn't fill that full of soil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this soil that I have, stick that in here because it's dry, and then I'll take my water sprayer, put that in here. And so tomorrow I'll have everything to get going on that. And I probably won't put this onion stuff in there, but there's some things in there that I do want to put in there, like tea. I think that should hopefully work. So nothing fell in my pit trap there that I have my compost starting. Now I've thrown a couple things in there, and it was funny, the other day when we were out here with Skittles, she actually fell in it. She got on there and it's like, whoops, there's no bottom. Came over here to look at the trees and stuff. I am not going to go in there today. It's sprinkling, it's misting, and we had a little bit of rain the other day, so I'm not going to bother going in there today. It's supposed to rain today at about 4 or 5 o'clock or something like that down here as well. So wow, look at that, that popped up. That was not like that the other day. This one's coming up too. Oh, and way over there some more. Oh wow, so there's some stuff taken off already in the soil. Awesome, that's encouraging. Nice green coming out. There's a lot of stuff popping already. Wow. All right, cool. I'm excited about that. Some of this stuff didn't look so great. She had bought some asparagus, and that looked kind of not in great shape. And the strawberries, they didn't look in great shape. But if something works out, that's at least encouraging. But yeah, it's misting right now, heavy enough that I'm kind of wondering if I should get out here and start cutting wood or not. It's not supposed to be raining, but it's a pretty heavy mist. All right, guys, weather permitting. It's one of those, but it's funny. It's kind of one of those in between temperatures. When I have my jacket off for a little bit, I start getting kind of chilly. But then when I put my jacket back on, I get kind of hot. But I think once I start what I'm about to do, I'll be able to leave the jacket off. The goal is to get all that dead stuff out of there, pile up the brush here, buck up the wood for firewood, move it over there. So that's the goal. If I could get all that cleaned up, that'd be spectacular before it starts pouring. But I did check the weather, and it's not supposed to rain till like 4 or 5, and right now it is only 10:30, so should have enough time. But again, like I said, it's sprinkling and misting. So all right, guys, I got most of this done. I feel like it could be a never ending. I got all the big stuff out. There's some stuff that's leaning over because the big limbs were on it and broke them and smashed them over. And then there's some broken pieces up in there as well, but I just can't get to them unless I were to cut everything out. So I'm going to leave it like this and see if things pick themselves back up. Maybe they'll go straight up and down at some point. If not, we can always cut this stuff out, clean it out, whatever we feel like doing at some point. But at least I got all the big limbs and stuff out. So on the other side, where you see this big tree popped up, there was a dead tree that I already went over and knocked over. So I'm going to go cut that up real quick and get that done and out of the way. All right, it was this rotten tree here I knocked over. I'm going to clean that up, and I think there's a couple of broken sticks in here. I'll clean that up too. All right, guys, I'm a bit confused as to what to do. These worms are very healthy. I threw some stuff in here for them because they keep getting out. There's another one. I found one clear up here one time I came back, and now I just now came back and I found several in the bottom of here. I'm not quite sure why they're so active and wanting out. I have this on here, so the only way they're getting out is the ventilation holes that are on the side, and I don't know what to do. Also, I just looked at the temperature. It's supposed to get down to 32 degrees tonight, and that's too cold for them. So I think I'm going to take this home, and I'll just keep this in the house tonight, but hopefully they don't get out. Yeah, don't know quite what to do, but I don't want to lose all the worms. Yeah, we're still getting down into the 30s at night, and I don't know that it would stay over 50 in the shed. I don't know. I think I need to wait for it to warm up just a tiny bit more before I start leaving them here. Well, I guess what I could do is I could saran wrap the top of this so they can't get out. The top of this thing. So when I get home, I'll saran wrap that, even though it's not going to well, I'll keep an eye on it, but when I can't keep an eye on it, I guess I'll saran wrap it because they need to be able to get air, but I don't want them getting out. All right, well, I just looked at the weather, and it wasn't supposed to rain till like 5, and now it's saying chance of rain at 2, which is in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to put stuff away here real quick and head on out. I am winding it up for the day. It feels like Hawaii here today. It's probably what North Carolina feels like. I just haven't lived here long enough, but it is. It's warm. I'm curious what it's going to say on the truck, but it's probably high 60s. And humid feeling, warm, windy. cloudy, and I'm wrapping it up a little earlier than I figured I was going to, because I just checked the we got more mail, junk mail. Yay, we're real, we're legit. Yeah, I'm heading out early because it's just changed the forecast. It was saying 4 to 5. Now it's saying starting at like 2:30. And it's 2:15 now. So it could start dumping here pretty quick. Neana and Diego are out there down at the back of the property shooting. And I text them it's going to rain, but I don't think they check their texts. So they'll find out soon enough, or it may not rain. I don't know, but it said 100% chance at 3 o'clock. So I'm going to wrap it up for the day, and not sure if I'll be out here tomorrow because it's showing rain tomorrow as well. So we'll see. And made some progress. Got the worm thing done and all those trees cleaned up. Yeah, it was a good day. So I'll see you guys the next time I'm back out here.